Ada, come here. Hi. Just looking at the LT Wright Genesis knife. Me and Ada are going to tell you what we think of it. Probably still at the tabletop at the end of the video, but I'm just out playing with it. So we'll see how it goes. Hi there, welcome to my video review of the LT Wright Genesis. This is a bushcraft knife. This is a bushcraft knife with a 4 1/5 or a quarter, depending on where you read or how you measure. I measured 4 1/4 inch A2 carbon steel Scandinavian ground to 0 degree blade. Just throwing some stats out there. With its just sub 5 inch handle made of bead blasted micarta, linen micarta I believe. Got some brass pins in there which are flattened down to just a completely flush surface. Got a couple of cutouts on there for extra grip. You can put your thumb there and put your thumb there. Do your chest lever or your cool bushcraft, your knee ninja and your back topwise reverse 360. Do all your cool cuts with it by putting your thumb in the different spots. Yeah, it is a very great bushcraft knife. I also have the Mora Bushcraft Black, which was my go-to pretty much everything knife. It's a bushcraft knife too, but they make it so this is more of a bushcraft and survival knife, which, yeah, I guess that's fine. But I wanted to specialise and just have a knife just for the bushcraft, and I wanted to have a very nice one, which is why I got this one. Not that this isn't very nice, but I wanted the Heirloom tool. I wanted a knife to sit next to my grandfather's axes, and yeah, just be really sort of something of pride, and also something that's really good at what it's designed to do. Because truth be told, so is the Mora. Both of these are about as good at being a bushcraft knife as each other. This one might have a bit more capability because it's like full tang and a bit heavier and a bit broader. But I mean, the Mora's tang goes to about here anyway, so I guess if you just pretended, I always think this about Moras. If Mora just had short handles, they would be full tang knives. But I mean, they're rat tail tang as well and all that stuff. But they essentially do the same thing. They carve wood really well, and that's what bushcraft is for me. If I want to survive, I want to have just a camp knife which I use to like do all my food prep as well, or like cut rope and all that other stuff. Then I'll use my Falcon-Even F1. This is the one that I'll have on my belt. I'll have these in my bag, and I'll get these out when it's time for bushcraft. When I've set up my camp and I've got everything going, and I think, it's time to sit in my camp stool and just sharpen a twig into a pointy stick. All that stuff. That's how good I am. That's the only bushcraft I really do. I do the things like that. Sometimes I make like a stand to hang bacon on and just things like that, and tent pegs, because I'm always losing my tent pegs. That's about it, and I just got this knife to use for it because, as I said, I wanted a nice one. I guess it's a bit like how people get expensive pens, expensive watches. I have a Swatch watch, and I have this watch. It's my Victorinox watch. This watch is about 6 times more expensive than the Swatch watch, and perhaps because of that, but probably not, just because it's nicer and made of nicer things, I prefer it, and the same with this knife here. So yeah, along with my Falcon-Even, all my knife needs are met when I'm at camp. I like the most about this knife, I like the A2 tool steel. Stays very sharp for very long. There's a great deal of edge retention in it, especially for a Scandinavian ground 0 degree edge, which this one has. So it keeps that edge very well. The edge comes very, very sharp. The sharpest knife I've had until I got my Falcon-Even F1, which is ridiculously sharp. But there we go. I like the handle. I like the broomstick handle. I feel it feels very comfortable in hand. I like the Bushcraft Black. I like this sort of semi-squishiness and tactile, sticky feeling a little bit. But then I don't like how it kind of makes me hold it a certain way with this finger groove. These broomstick handles I think are better because you hold that however you want. Your handle's not going to slide up on it because it stops there. What else do I like about it? I like the lanyard hole. I like how it looks. I don't really use a lanyard though because I think lanyards are just for chopping, aren't they? And I don't know, I think they kind of make the knife look a bit lame when you've got a lanyard on it. I don't know, just my opinion. I like the sharpened spine, which strikes the ferro rod very well for when you are making your primitive fire, for when your matches are not there, or your lighter is not there, or you just feel like making a primitive fire. There is no shame in that. Make fire however you want to make fire. It's cool. It doesn't matter. Just got to stop judging each other. Yeah, you can't be hammering, but you can hammer with this. This is your survival knife, as I said. You could bust open some crayfish with this knife. The bushcraft knife's not going to be doing that because it'll be in your bag waiting to do some bushcraft. Well, that's how I'll see it anyway. So that is my little review on the LT Wright. I did some stuff outside with it before, so I'll roll some clips of that. And yeah. Overall though, for $175, I think I've got a pretty reasonable heirloom knife. And they seem like they're good people. And you've got to support that sort of cottage craftsman thing. I think it's a worthy cause. Alright. Thank you very much for watching my review. And I will catch you next time we're out in the woods. Or at the table. See ya. Sorry, back again. I can't remember if I talked about the sheath. Very nice leather sheath. Very bushcraft. Made not by LT but by... it's a leatherwork company that they employ. Someone put in the comments, I can't remember what it is. Holds a fire still very well. Has a dangler which you can remove with a flathead screwdriver. I would keep the dangler though because I don't like being poked in the love handle by the top of the knife. But if you don't have love handles, then maybe you'll be fine. It's got a nice thick welt along there, so the knife won't be chopping through it at any point. Sort of very well reinforced, these two lines of stitching. I think it is a pretty good leather holster. Not like amazing good like you see on those holsters that you pay hundreds of dollars for from Hedgehog, for example. But you know what? You don't pay hundreds of dollars for this. You pay $175 for the knife, which comes with the holster. So I'm seeing that as pretty much free. So it's pretty good. And that is about it. So a little addendum there, but I thought I'd best say it. See you later.